Wallace. Wallace's early childhood in Scotland was marked by poverty, instability, and a lack of consistent adult protection. His mother suffered from mental health and substance misuse problems. She struggled to comprehend the situations she put her son in and often failed to intervene, which allowed Wallace's abuse to continue. Wallace's mother psychologically and emotionally abused him throughout his childhood. From a young age, adult men moved in and out of his life, and he was encouraged to refer to them as dad or uncle. This made it seem normal that adult men would be around him as a child. He was moved around many different home environments and learned to accept situations without question. His early experiences made him believe that adults could enter his personal space without consent, that fear should be tolerated, and that he had no control. Wallace's earliest memory of abuse occurred when he was 4 or 5 years old, when an adult came into his bedroom at night and got into bed with him. He could not identify who it was, but instinctively knew it was wrong. His main abusers were his mother's partner and the partner's brother, who both exercised authority over Wallace and were treated as trusted adults. They were connected to a biker group in the area. Not all members of the group were involved in the abuse, but a core group of men were. Wallace recalls being taken to a particular house where multiple men were present. It had a dark atmosphere lit by candles, possibly snake-shaped candle holders placed near the fireplace. The setting felt deliberate and staged. Multiple adults were sitting around watching him, which instinctively made him feel unsafe. He was led into a bedroom, restrained and raped by an adult. His mother's partner's brother spoke to him as if what had just happened was normal, despite the considerable pain and emotional distress he felt. Wallace asked if he would receive a toy for what had happened. He did receive one, but it was cheap and insignificant. Even then, he realized that there was no real compensation for what had happened to him. The same pattern of abuse occurred on multiple occasions. Wallace recalls seeing other boys and girls present who were usually restrained and drugged. He also recalls being drugged himself and losing consciousness. He would often wake alone or with other abused children, disoriented and distressed. This has caused long-term psychological damage. At one point, the police raided the property. They took Wallace outside and showed him adults one by one, asking if he recognized them. He had been coached to say these men were his uncles, and that is what he said. He associated authority figures with fear and wanted to avoid saying what he believed might be the wrong thing. As a result, the police intervention did not protect him. No safeguarding followed, and he returned to the abusive environment. The signs of abuse were there and only reinforced Wallace's view that speaking out would not lead to safety. As an adult, he eventually attempted to report what had happened to him, a disclosure which took years. He expected to be treated as a victim of serious childhood sexual abuse, but instead his disclosure was treated as a mental health issue. He was asked to provide psychiatric and medical notes before any proper investigation would take place. The lack of seriousness from the authorities resulted in Wallace's statements being recorded improperly. Due to this experience, he made complaints to the police, to professional bodies including the General Medical Council, and to other oversight organizations. Each process was slow, fragmented, and obstructive, and continued for years without resolution. During this time, he was forced to relive his experiences repeatedly while being met with skepticism. At no point was his well-being considered, which further compounded his trauma, as he once again felt dismissed, disbelieved, and unprotected. Owing to Wallace's abuse, he has experienced long-term psychological harm. This harm has affected his education, relationships, sense of self-worth, and his ability to feel safe. He wishes for his abusers and the authorities who failed to act to be held to account, and for his story to help protect other children from similar harm.